Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's Real Estate Authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb Schlinker is a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. We air your real estate voice every Saturday. If you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or just go ahead and search Barb. You'll find her on most of the popular podcast platforms like iHeartRadio and others. So, Barb, what's in store for today's show?
Well, Richard, good morning. I'm always excited about what I want to talk about today because I think it could help people. And the first topic is if you're a home seller, how do you sell your home for the most money? That's the number one question I get. And everybody has a different strategy and a different plan in their mind about how that is going to happen. So we'll go into some detail about some steps to really get top dollar for your home. And then the second topic is probably the number two question we get all the time behind what my house is worth, which is what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. Some people kind of go overboard on remodeling, and sometimes you just won't get the money out of it. So we're going to talk about things that will help and things that won't. And then the third topic kind of dovetails with it, where it basically is about how to get your home on the buyer's must-see list. And that's really, really important. So everybody wants the most money. I don't know any home seller that doesn't. But at the end of the day, you have to be realistic. You have to look at competition. And it's going to be the market that decides which homes are going to sell fast and which are not. So we know how to help our clients get their homes on the must-see list, and it involves the 4 Ps: picking the right agent, making sure that you prepare properly, making sure your agent promotes the home correctly, and pricing it right, because pricing absolutely is the first impression. And then the last topic is a little bit controversial, but it'll be fun to talk about it. Do I need to pay a buyer's agent when purchasing a home in Colorado? And as always, I love talking about my hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, in this market, there are many more homes that are not selling. So, what are the 5 keys to get the most money when you are selling your home and making it sell?
Well, Richard, I want to set the stage first on kind of what's going on in the market. I look at statistics almost every day to see what's going on all along the Front Range and figure out, okay, are the prices going down? Are they going up? Is it taking longer to sell homes? And all I can go by is my own experiences on the listings that I have and how quickly they are or are not selling, what our competition looks like. And what I'm seeing right now, even though if you go on YouTube or some of these other social media channels, even the Wall Street Journal is painting a picture that, inventory is exploding and prices are dropping, but I am not seeing that across the board. I am seeing some better deals, especially in the lower price point. But what's interesting is the higher price point actually is moving pretty well. So it all comes back to supply and demand. So right now, of course, inventory is higher than we saw after the pandemic when the rates were down low. But we are seeing a little bit more inventory than we saw on the market before the pandemic. But you have to just kind of do the math about supply and demand. There's probably 25% more available buyers in the market right now. Many are kind of sitting on the sidelines and trying to decide, all right, do I wait to buy? Do I keep saving money? Do I wait for the prices and or the interest rates to come down? And we're not seeing a big move. We have seen the rates drop probably about 3/4 of a point, and that should be enough to get activity. I just looked up mortgage rates yesterday. A 30-year fixed conventional is about 6 3/4. To compare that right after the election, it was at 7.5. So it has ticked down almost a point. And VA and FHA loans are down in the low sixes right now. So many of these lenders are offering a temporary buy down of the rate of 1%. In fact, our preferred lender at Nexa will do that, where they will do a temporary buy down of the interest rate by 1% off the current rates. And now we're talking more affordable. If you're starting to talk mid to upper fives, yeah, the buyers are probably going to be able to handle that payment. So what we're seeing county-wise, we had a dip through the fall, which some of that is seasonal. So in El Paso County, the median list price is starting to tick up again. The inventory is still low. In Douglas County, the prices are kind of surging a little bit. We went up about 25,000 in the past 2 weeks. Inventory remains low in Douglas County. Teller County prices are kind of all over the place. I really feel like Teller County is one of those very seasonal markets. A lot of people, especially the Texans, fall in love with let me say that again. A lot of people, especially Texans, fall in love with our mountains, and especially in Teller County. So as we move into the spring, I think we'll see those prices tick back up in Teller County again, but right now they're down or just relatively flat as compared to last week. And inventory is low there, and Pueblo has been relatively flat as well. Now, here's the thing. I think it's a mistake for buyers to wait on the sidelines until they see prices drop and or rates drop. And the reason is that when that happens, other buyers are going to come out of the woodwork. Just last weekend, Richard, I had a bidding war on a listing that I have that's priced over 1.2 million, if you can believe that. It's been sitting on the market for 3 months, and all of a sudden we get 2 buyers at the same time. So why is that happening? Because, I think the buyers there's more consumer confidence, in my view, about what's going on. The rates are coming down just a little bit, and this is prime time selling season. So I do believe it's going to be a better market going into this spring in this local area. I can't speak for all of Colorado, but I know along the Front Range, it's pretty good. And here is the key. I have this thing called the 5 keys to thrive in any market. And the way you do it, first of all, to get the most money, is you have to make sure you pick the right agent. You have to make sure that the home is properly promoted. I see this all the time when I'm showing similar sales to my sellers, where I'll see marketing, even really high-end listings that are $1 or $2 million, where the agent was too cheap to spend money on professional pictures. Can you believe that, Richard? Wouldn't that make you mad?
I would be so angry. I mean, I've got a nice phone. You've got a great phone, in fact, Barb, but you don't use your phone for photographs. You
No.
go all out. It's a big investment. You want to get everything you can.
Yeah, so it's absolutely critical that you kind of execute a plan and sell your home in the way that you want to sell it. Not everybody has the same selling strategy. Just so you know, some people will tell me, hey, I don't want to deal with a bunch of strangers coming through my house. Can't you get me a cash offer? And the answer is absolutely. We could probably get you multiple cash offers, even from local investors that might pay a little bit more. But the key, if you're going on the open market, is to be the best home on the block. And so we know that the first showing is online. We know that the price is the initial impression of the home. We know that the buyers are very well educated and they can see everything around it, and they can see whether or not it looks like a good deal. So photos have to be good. It has to be priced realistically, because buyers are eliminating homes based on the online presentation. 4 years ago, the study was 57 seconds. I would say right now it's probably down to about 10 seconds is all you have to make an impression online. And that decision is going to make the buyer decide whether or not they want to even bother to go look at that home or not. So it's really changed over the years. It used to be you get with an agent, and agent would pick out the listings and then you go look at them. But now it's the online marketing, the online pricing that makes the buyer say yes or no, whether or not they want to see it. So bad photos are really a problem because they absolutely repel buyers from looking at a home. Here I've got a picture of a house. This was during the boom, this little condo in Monument that was really low priced actually at the time. It should have had multiple offers on day one because that was when the market was hot, but they just didn't take proper photos. So the photos were dark. We're looking at a picture right now where you can see the kitty litter box, a very large kitty litter box. You've got all this debris on the counter. You've got a reflection of the listing agent taking the picture. And even in the kitchen of this place, there was all these groceries on the counter. It's like, really? You didn't do any preparation? So I'm not sure everybody studies marketing. You have to make sure that it's marketed properly. And there's a lot of buyers out there that have a house to sell. And it's kind of like playing cat and mouse. It's like, well, I want to sell, but I don't want to render myself homeless. So we absolutely have solutions for people with a house to sell. We have our trade up program. We have our guaranteed cash offer, multiple cash offer program that can help people. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice, and I'm from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And next up, we're going to be talking about what should home sellers do in 2025 to win at the game of selling the home. Richard?
We're here talking with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You can reach Barb at 719-301-3900. And Barb, you've highlighted 3 of the 5 keys to maximize your sales price when you're selling a home. Be the best home on the block, create demand with aggressive marketing, and solve buyers' problems. Tell us about those last 2 tips.
Well, number 4 is negotiating. So what I mean by that, and you'd be surprised to hear that many of the real estate agents in the market aren't really trained to negotiate. They don't know how. They think it's their job to get stuff for their buyer. And unfortunately, sometimes they fail because they try to get so much stuff. The seller says no, and somebody else gets that house that their buyer wanted. So I personally think that's a mistake. And when I'm representing a seller, and I do both, but I do mostly sellers, my job is to take care of the seller in their best interest. So as an example, just the other day, I got an offer on one of my listings and we had sent out the counter proposal, and the way that electronic software works, all they had to do is click on it and sign to be under contract. And then I get a call from another agent bringing another offer. So I hurried up and hid that counter proposal so buyer number 1 could not sign it yet, to take a look at buyer number 2 to see which one was better. And it worked out that buyer number 2 was the best offer. But had I not done that, then it might have cost the seller some money and maybe not having the buyer that would have worked out best for them. So not every agent knows how to do that, and we do. We are trained in doing that because it's absolutely critical to get it right. Some other things is pricing. Pricing absolutely is your first impression, and buyers are going to make their decision as to whether or not they're even going to look at your home based on how it's priced. So if it's not priced right, if it's overpriced, they just won't go see it. It's just that simple. And you have to keep in mind, there are a lot of brand new homes that are priced very competitively that are offering huge incentives to the buyers, buying down their interest rate, paying their closing costs, giving them upgrades. So pricing is absolutely critical. And that's just one of the things that we help our sellers make a decision on before they go on the market. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call. That's what we do. We sit down with home sellers and give them a really good idea what their home will sell for in this market based on real empirical data. We also give them tips on what to do and what not to do to get their house ready for sale. And we'll go over all the closing costs so they can make a good decision on exactly what their strategy is and how much money they're going to put in the pocket when it sells. Richard?
You're listening to Barb Schlinker, your real estate voice of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You can reach Barb at 719-301-3900. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing what to do and what not to do to get your Colorado home ready for sale.